Any tool can call an LLM API or bolt a chatbot onto a workflow and call it AI-powered GRC. But when a regulator shows up or when an auditor asks you to trace every decision, every obligation, every piece of evidence, a chatbot is not a defense. Archer Evolv is built differently, not as a GenAI wrapper, not as a point solution, but as a 12-layer purpose-built AI infrastructure engineered from the ground up for the precision, traceability, and governance that enterprise GRC demands. Let's explore the unique purpose-built approach of Archer Evolv. Level 1 is where every GenAI tool starts with an LLM API, such as ChatGPT, Claude, or Copilot. These are powerful general-purpose tools, but for Archer Evolv, they're only one component, not the whole product. Without a GRC-aware approach, you have just a chatbot. With Archer Evolv, you have a true business solution. Layer 2, enterprise-grade data infrastructure. Archer Evolv runs on PostgreSQL and OpenSearch hardened for enterprise scale. Every client tenant is siloed. Your data never mingles with anyone else's, and at the foundation sits something no startup can replicate overnight. Archer GRC is the out-of-box, best-in-class database schema for risk and compliance with the capabilities needed for an enterprise program. Features such as a built-in calculation engine and enforced referential integrity, coupled with 20-plus years of GRC telemetry as a training signal, provide a full audit trail and lineage baked into the data layer itself. Layer 3, Identity and Access Management. This key element is not bolted on, but built in with support for OAuth 2.0, SAML, OpenID Connect, Microsoft ADFS, SCIM provisioning, and multi-factor authentication. Role-based access controls are enforced at every layer, not just the user interface. This is what regulated enterprise security actually requires. Layer 4, Pre-curated Signals and Caching. Archer Evolv monitors more than 8,000 global regulatory sources, and that number grows by 600-plus new sources every month. This isn't raw web scraping. Every signal is classified, curated, and cached for low-latency delivery, while internal risk signals are fused with those external feeds, so your governance picture is always complete. Layer 5. Purpose-built global models. This is where Archer Evolv separates completely from generic AI. Archer has built 524 sentencification models and a general model, alongside more than 509 classifiers spanning 20 regulatory topics and 495 distinct concepts. Obligation extraction precision exceeds 90%, trained on a 37-gigabyte legal and regulatory corpus. And those models cover 80,000-plus business profiles across the US, UK, EU, and Canada. These models were trained by legal and regulatory specialists, not prompt engineers, starting in 2017, 8 years before the GenAI wave. Layer 6, Expert-in-the-Loop Workflows. Workflows are AI-assisted, but with human assurance. Legal, compliance, and regulatory subject matter experts review every model output. Every AI decision is explainable, traceable, and auditable. Model performance is monitored weekly, and retraining is triggered automatically when drift is detected. The entire governance framework aligns by design to ISO 42001, NIST AI-RMF, and the EU AI Act, because in GRC, trust me, is not a control. Layer 7, Enterprise Cross-Application Integration. Archer Evolv enables an enterprise approach to risk and compliance, eliminating operational silos and data disconnects. Connectors, workflows, and event-driven triggers embed AI outputs directly into your existing GRC, ERM, and third-party systems. With data flowing between your operational processes, your risk and compliance teams are more effective and have better visibility across your risk and compliance activities. Layer 8, Centralized Guardrails and Governance. Role-based access, PII protection, and full audit trail are embedded at the platform level, not add-ons. Telemetry, quality evaluations, and audit logs exist on every single AI action. Conformance testing runs on every model output before it reaches a user. And retrieval-augmented generation is opt-in. Your knowledge base can be consulted before any response is generated. Layer 9, Prompt and Model Lifecycle Management. Model quality is a managed discipline here, not an afterthought. Archer Evolv utilizes the best-of-breed model for the task. As versions change, we do the hard work of abstracting the prompt changes necessary to get the best out of the underlying LLM so you don't have to. Every release goes through prompt versioning and regression testing. Drift detection triggers automatic retraining workflows, domain adaptation fine-tuning runs through AWS Bedrock, and model performance is continuously benchmarked against GRC-specific accuracy thresholds, not generic benchmarks that have nothing to do with regulatory compliance. Layer 10. Token monitoring and management. Cost and usage are fully visible with per-operator token metering and budget controls. Archer Evolv routes each task to the right model, balancing performance and cost. Where purpose-built models outperform LLMs at a fraction of the price, they're used. We use full attribution by client, tenant, workflow, and operator so nothing is opaque. Layer 11. Peer benchmarking and intelligence. This is calibration you cannot buy from a general AI. Cross-organizational signals, along with industry benchmarks to inform risk scoring, reveal what peer organizations are actually doing, not what a language model guesses they might do. All of it built from Archer's own GRC data, not the open internet. The result? Decisions that are calibrated, comparable, and defensible. Layer 12. Pre-tuned domain-specific operators. This is the layer that makes everything real. Ready to run AI operators for audit, compliance, third-party risk, IT risk, operational risk, and AI risk management are seeded with more than 20 years of GRC implementation expertise. We can deliver higher accuracy and repeatability than any general LLM with auditable outputs. No prompt drift, no hallucination. This is the result of 2 decades in the field, impossible to replicate overnight. 12 layers, 1 platform, everything GenAI alone cannot deliver. Our purpose-built AI models deliver greater than 90% accuracy drawing from pre-curated regulatory signals from 8,000 plus sources. With expert-in-the-loop governance, every AI decision is traceable and auditable. Token metering and drift detection are managed as a discipline. We provide jurisdictional intelligence across 180 plus countries, trained, not prompted with pre-tuned domain operators built from more than 20 years of GRC expertise. Archer Evolv as proprietary models run 10 times faster and roughly 100 times more cost-efficiently than GPT-4 class models on equivalent compliance tasks. When your regulator asks you to defend a decision, when an auditor traces an obligation back to its source, you need a platform, not a prompt. That's Archer Evolv, built different, built for GRC. For more information, visit www.archerirm.com.